level 2 member request here. Thank you very much for that. This song here, I'm going to be using the kind of specialty drop D flat tuning, where all I'm going to do is just take the low E string and drop that down to the D flat or C sharp. Keep everything else the same. We'll have the A, D, G, B, E under it. So with this one, there's even a little subtle kind of pitch difference where on top of all that tuning, it seems to me like there's even a quarter step low pitch that happened to everything. So if you're trying to play along with the song, just know that everything is just even slightly drop tuned more, just like a quarter of a pitch, not even a half step. So kind of an interesting little note there for that. But this song, a lot of times 2 different guitars in the beginning here over the top of each other. So I'll show you both things happening there. If you want to try to do like a hybrid of both, that's up to you. The first guitar here for what we'll call the first part, we're doing the open low D flat, and then we're just going to pick 8A, 8G, and go between the A and the G like that 3 times. Okay, and that'll just repeat. And the second guitar over the top of that is just doing some higher stuff, where it'll just pick the 6G and 8 high E, and just goes between those, just keeps it going. Okay, so those 2 guitars are over the top of each other, and up to you to, pick which one you want to do. And the second part now, move on to kind of the first guitar, where we're in the same kind of spot here, but we're going to pick through the 8A and now a 6D, and we're just picking right through that about 4 times. And then we'll throw in a couple of low D flat hits here, so just throw in an open D flat, pick the 8A, back to the open low D flat, and then go right back to the 6 on the D here. And then just start picking between the 8A, 6D a few more times. And that whole thing will repeat a couple times. So alright. And I'll show you what the second guitar is doing over top of that here next. But after doing that, the first guitar moves on to part 3, which is this riff up here. We start at 7 on the D flat, and then we want this 8 on the A. We'll hit those and then hammer the 8 to 10. Okay, and then we'll just hit the 7 with the 10 again. Once more, come back off to the 8 on the A. Back to the 10 on the A with the 7 D flat. A couple times. A little hesitation once more. And then back off to 8 with the 7 for a couple. So it's... Alright, and I'll do that a couple times. And the second guitar, so while the first guitar was doing doing that bit, the second guitar is doing a back and forth between the 6G and a 9B. Just keeps that going. And then once that second riff comes in, it just doubles that. So same deal for both guitars right there. Alright, so that little bit. Part 4 now, first guitar, we'll do this on the A string, where we go 7, then we go 10 D to 11, kind of hold that just a moment, then back to the 10, and then we bump up the 7A to 8, and then we do 8A, 10D, little hesitation, 11, back to 10. Okay. Alright, and the second guitar over the top of that is doing the same thing, just in a higher octave. So it's over here, where we got the 5B, and then we'll go 8 to 9E, back to 8. Okay, and then we bump that 5B to 6, and then go 8E, little hesitation, 9, back to 8. Okay, so same deal there, just different octaves for guitars. And part 5 now. This happens in kind of like, I guess you would say, the second verse, or after things kind of, everything's, all those riffs have repeated. And now we get into this, it's almost like a third guitar. It may be like a bass or something, but it does this bit where we're on the middle D, and we just hit 10, slide down to 8, hit it, slide down to 6 once again, and then to 5. That type of deal. And like I said, this will kind of start in like that second half of the verse there, but then the second guitar will carry this into the next section as well. Alright, well, the first guitar is kind of repeating a lot of what we've seen there. It'll do that a couple times, and then we switch it up a little bit where we go D string 11, 10, 10, 8. Alright, and it'll do that a couple times. And now we kind of start the big outro section, and this is just kind of like a long, kind of meandering stream of different riffs. You want to put on some gain with this and get it nice and big sounding. The initial part, we start here, a lot of kind of wild, like augmented stuff and interesting sounding chords here. So this one here, it'll be 3 on the D flat, 3 on the A, 2 on the D. Alright, strum that out about 5 times or so. Slide it up to 4 on the D with the 3 on the A and D. Strum that out about 4 times. And then we zoom up here to 9 on the D flat with the 10 on the A and D. And we just start strumming this out, eighth note style or faster yet. And then strum that out about half a dozen times. And then we make that 10 A and 11 for a few strums. Do that a couple times. Alright. Second part of the outro here, it's this big kind of descending octave on the A and G with the D flat open over the top. We start at the 10A, 12G, and just a couple hits. Alright, that middle D is just kind of muted by, incidentally touching it there. Try to keep everything else muted too. So just get the open D flat, 10A, 12G. Take that same shape, and now we're down at 8 and 10, same deal. Move it down again, 6 and 8. And then end up at 3 and 5. Alright, and then we'll land on just a power chord here with the 4 on the D flat with the 3 on the A and D, and just a couple hits. Alright, and repeat that all twice. Alright, move it down to this power chord position. 2 on the low D flat with the 1 on the A and D. Hit it, and then hammer that 1 A to 3. Hit those again with the 2, 3, 1. Once again, and then just lift back off so we got the 2 with the 1s. Alright, and repeat that twice. Alright. And now we do kind of a scaling up of an octave. So low octaves here where we go 4 on the D flat and then the 3 on the middle D. Hit it. 6 and 5, 11 and 10, then back to 7 and 6. Alright, and then we'll repeat the first 2 riffs again. And then we do this augmented 3 on the D flat and A with the 2 D here, and hit that a couple times. Leads us into the next outro part 3, and this is a power chord shape, 4 D flat with the 3 on the A and D. Couple hits here, and this is the section where kind of everything drops out except for like the guitar. And we strum this out a couple times, and then we just go 4, 6 on the A, strum that out a handful of times. Alright, now we come off to just a big D flat power chord with the open D flat, 4A, 6D. And you want to get this kind of major sus chord lined up here. And this is kind of a real fast kind of almost sweeping thing going on here where we'll pick the 4A, do the 6D, hit the 8, then the 5G. Alright, 4 on the B. Oops, sorry, I missed that. So let's try this. 4, 6, 8, 5G, 4B. And then we just do a reverse on the D string with the 8 to 6. Okay, it takes a little bit of practice there for sure. Alright, and then we would do a couple hits on this 9 D flat with the 10s on the A and D. Alright, move back to this power chord at the 4 D flat with the 3 on the A and D. Strum that out a handful of times. Move it down to the 2 D flat with the 4 A for a few strums. And then move up to the augmented at the 3 on the D flat and A for a few. Alright, and then we would throw in that big open with the pick through the major 7 sus2. Okay, even take some practice slow. So throw that section in, hit the 9s with the 10s. Alright, and then the final outro section here, we just do this big strumming of a D flat with 3 on the A and D. It's just kind of an interesting major 7 voicing here. And hit it, a couple strums, strum it. It's, you know, about 8 or so strums on this, 10, just, and then just zoom up to the 9 with the 10s for a couple of hits. That type of deal. Goes through that about 3 times, and then we just finish with a big octave scale down. We're going to do the D and B string octaves here. So we do the open D flat, and then we want a 10 with a 13. And we kind of strum it like we do the other octave scale down, just kind of a couple hits. Then we move down to 8 with the 11, 6 with the 9, and then just finish at 5 with the 8. Alright, and you're all set.